G'day, how you going? I'm in Perth, Western Australia, and my name's Ian Applis, acrylic guru. Now, I haven't painted in a couple of days, and I feel like I want to go into my studio and get some painting done. So I want to bring you in there with me and just show you what you can do, all right? Let's go. G'day and welcome to the studio. We're in the studio now and we're going to put this painting together. I've got a beautiful seascape set up for you with a bit of sun glistening in the water and the reflections and shadows. The size and the colours are on the screen there for you to jot down because this video is designed for you to pause, play and paint along with me, all right? So let's get into this. Now my horizon is all the way up here, okay? I'm going to have a beautiful sky just here. Portrait layout, and I want to have a nice sun setting, and in the water I've just got lines here to show you what's in my mind. I've got about 3 bands of lines. They're just going to be waves out in the distance, and there's going to be a decent one here. Now I want to show you how simple it is to put these waves into your oceanscapes and some beautiful reflections of the sun in the sand as well, mate. So it's not a big sky. I'm not using a big brush. I'm just going to use a flat brush here. Now I've wet this brush so it's not dry bristles picking up wet paint. Okay, now I want to use this soft titanium white just to prime in this sky area and just get this on there because this is going to allow your colors to merge. Okay, so I want to push this onto the canvas now just to my horizon area there. Now I just want to get this stroked left and right nice and even so we can get our beautiful sky colors on there. Now down here I've got Prussian blue, magenta, yellow ochre and some Indian yellow. I'm going to start with the yellow oxide, the yellow ochre, and put that at the horizon line. Make your sky whatever sky you want. I want a sunsetting evening sky. And I want this right across the horizon there. So I'm going to bring this across the horizon, push it in there, get it right across, no mucking around, and then just start slowly bringing it up. Bring it up like that with some X strokes so you're getting it higher, and then stroke it off just like that. All right, now wipe your brush, clean your brush. I'm grabbing some of the magenta and I want to come right against there like this. Right against that yellow ochre, and then just kind of, I want to bleed it in. You can join yours however you like. Like I said, everyone's an individual, but I want to join that a little bit just like so. See what I've done there? I X stroked it, infinity strokes, and I've merged it together. Okay, now I'm picking up the Prussian blue. I'm not using my normal cerulean blue because that's a daytime. This is evening now, and this blue gets a bit darker, I feel, in my paintings when I'm doing a lusciously luscious sunset. Now I'm coming right across the sky there, get all the top. I'm not putting it on like this. I'm getting this bit here, the value I want. Then I'll start bringing it down. Now be careful, we've only got a small footprint here, so I've got to be careful how I bring that down to the red. So what I'll do is I'll just gingerly splice it how I want it, just like so, into the red a bit, and then start stroking that left and right until you're happy with the merging of those colors there. I can feel a line there. I want to distort it, so I'm pushing it. There we go, and always finishing off with the left and right strokes. Now that Indian yellow is going to come into play. Watch this. You ready? Clean your brush and get some of the Indian yellow now. All those colours on the canvas are wet. And where my sun is about here, I want to just make this bit the glary bit. So I'm just going to go from about there and just push that through there. That's my glary bit. And then I'll just gingerly bring that up to that red. I'm going to wipe the brush. And I need to control what I'm putting on the canvas. Don't ever hope for the best. Control. So see there now, that edge of paint right there? I want to control that just up there and get some long, stretchy. There we go. Now you can use your finger for this. I've got a packet of pouncers and I've got a small one here. So I want to take advantage of that. And I just want to load up this pouncer. And now my sun is going to be, where is that? Right here. So I'm going to twist it on, just get it on there first. You can use a brush for this or your finger. I'm just using this pouncer. I'm just quickly grabbing some more of that paint now, just so as I can concentrate. What I'm going to do is create, get a bit of fluff off there. I'm going to create a glare now. Watch what I do. I start from there, and these pouncers are excellent. I'm just going to start walking this paint outside of there. Now that pouncer is pretty loaded. I've just rubbed it in a cloth. Watch it start sitting that down into that yellow paint now. It's a little bit wet. Don't take your time with this because I've got no retarder in it, so I've got to make sure I get it done before it gets too thick and gluggy and dry on me. And I'm just simply walking it out. Now I'm just going to grab some more white. I'll put this on, but if this is too yellow, I'll have to let it dry before I put the whiteness on there. Can you see that? Yeah, that's a whiter glare there. I'm going to grab some of the blue and mix some of the magenta together just to get a dark silhouetted cloud. Need a bit more magenta into that maybe. There we go. And I'll add a bit of white just to... There we go. I'm coming from here, just squiggling it on, and I want to, this paint is still wet, just come across there like that and drag it, keeping it straight. I will grab this other brush just to kind of tease it the way I want, sit it down the way I want. I want something out here, just like that. Give it a bit of body out here so it makes sense. There we go. Wipe that, because every time, whatever you're blending with, you need to keep wiping the build up, okay? If you don't, you could get bits of blobs everywhere and you'll be wondering what's going on. I'm coming from a bit lower there, and I want a nice something here. Watch how I build this up. Drag it. I've created the cloud. I'll grab my cloth and I simply want to tassel the bottom of that down into the sky there. You're doing this with it. And what I might do is give it a bit of a pull. Make sure your pulls are dead level. Okay. I'm just twisting, turmoiling like I normally do, blending a cloud. Drag that off the painting there so it's fading. I feel the sun always looks better, so I'm going to bring another one here. I could have used a flat brush for this. Just like that. Careful not to ruin too much of your sun. Just finishing them off. I've added a little bit of darkness to them. I'm just dragging some stuff from the edge here. Now these clouds are in silhouette if anything, so you don't need to try and put dimension. They can all just stay kind of flat like that. You can see what these lines do. I love them. Probably don't even need that there, but I'll put it there anyway. Okay, too easy. Little sky, big impact, beautiful. Now give that a dry. That line I drew across when I very first started is coming right off there. I know where it is. That's where my, see the top of this tape? That's where my horizon is going to be. So I know where it's going to be. Now what I want to do is get the water primed up and get this water laid in. Now I've got rocks here and that, but I'm just going to paint it, and then I can bring them in over it later. Now to make things easy, because I'm going to have me water turquoisey colour and then the sand colour, I'm going to make things easy, and it's when you know what to do, you can do it. So I'm just going to simply use two brushes. I'm going to use one for getting, because once I prime this white, I'm going to bring the turquoise down to about here. And then I want to bring the sand colour up. And then I've got the two brushes with different paints. I don't have to keep cleaning the one brush, and I can slightly merge them together, so when I put the water surface on top, it's going to look like it's going under.
Yeah, you always want that sand to look like it's going under, don't you, Ian?
Absolutely. So first off, I'm going to grab some more of this soft body titanium white over here where I can reach it, because I've got so many bits and bobs over there. And this is going to prime up the bottom area now. Now when you're priming white, and you got tape on there, do not put this against the tape. Otherwise, when you put this on and it's against the tape, and you put your colour on, when you peel your tape off, you're going to have a white ridge line. So what I do to prevent that from happening, I'll just go up to the tape area for now. I'll get all this on the way I want it. Okay, it's on the way I want it. Now I'll just get it as close as I can to the tape without touching the tape, okay? And then the colour can touch the tape. That way when you pull the tape off, the only edge that's going to be against where the tape was is the colour. And just stroke this left and right, because that's the way you want your water to be brushed. Now before I put the water on, I want to mix my sand colour. So I'm going to bring the yellow ochre over this side and simply grab your yellow ochre, and I've got some dioxine purple here, and start mixing this together. And you can get a lighter and a darker value of this, and this gives you great sand colours for your ocean, wet sand. Now we can grab some lighter value of this as well. So I'll pull a little bit over here. Watch what this does. See, we've got a lighter value right there. Now I've got my turquoise here, so I'm going to pick that up on my putter on a brush. Like I said, I've got two brushes now, that colour and this colour. This will go right against the tape. And if anything, with the ocean turquoise colour out there, I want it darker, then it can come lighter. So I'll quickly just want to get this against the edge there, and then work out, pick up some more to about here. Put it on there again, and let it come down to where I want the water to finish, and then I will put the sand where I want the sand to meet the water. Now look what's going on here. Because it's the way I brush, I just need to make the paint get there. You've got to make it happen because you're the artist, and my sand's going to come about here. So I'm going to stop this about there. Now that I push those X strokes to the side of the, like that canvas, and I stroke it left and right again, you can see that there's no bare spots there. I've controlled what I put onto the canvas. Now I'm simply going to pick up that other brush and this colour, and I want to get this right across, right across, right across. Massaging it in as I do it. Now I'm coming to the water there. So what you do, I've got the sand there. Before I contaminate it in the water too much more, I feel I want a bit more darker down here. So I'll just put it a bit darker if I can. I picked up a little bit of dioxine, a bit more. It's not mixed enough. It's marbly. There you go. Look at that dioxine. And then I'll come to here. And then now with this meeting the water, I'm just going to slowly merge it. Because I want to merge it, you know where you have the white foam? You need this stuff, this light stuff underneath it, the white foam, to give it the illusion that the sand looks like it's going under.
Yeah, you want that under look, don't you, Ian?
You sure do, little buddy. Now this is simple. You can detail this as much as you want, but this is a basic setup for you. I've given that a little bit of a dry. It's a little bit rubbery because I want to start putting those bands of waves in it, okay?
The tape, Ian, the tape.
Oh yes, okay, let's pull that tape off. Now with those rolling distant waves, the further they are away, you want them closer together. And as you come down, they get further apart, giving the illusion that the water's starting to look like that. So what I'm going to do, just for my tutorial's sake, I'm going to get my putter on a stick, and I'm going to get a mark on the tape here, pretty much right against, coming along there and just to the other side of the tape, because this is going to be where I put the dark band for the waves. Come down a bit more. So I want about 1, 2, 3. Get it a bit closer. 3. Now simply to get them to happen the way they need to, grab your straight edge or your bullshit stick, and you want to get some darkness along there now. So I'm going to come along here, and you want it kind of blurred, but not too blurred. I'll show you with this one. We'll get this one along, and this stick is just going to make that incredibly level and straight. There's one out there. So I'm going to come from there. Now I'm going to have to, I'll get it on there first. I'm going to have to change the thickness, the variance of them, just to get them the way they should look.
So they're pleasing to the eye, and you want them pleasing to the eye.
Yes, exactly. That's that one, and we'll go with the third one. Just going to get that right out there, right along. I ain't mucking around, I'm going to get it right on there. And now what I'm doing with these three waves, before I add the highlight on, I've come from the top of the line, I've done the top two, and I'm coming down just to blur it. See how I blurred it down? I blurred it down just where I can put the highlight. Okay, where this phthalo is, I'll bring some white over now, and I just simply want a lighter value of that. I've simply got what's in my brush. I'm working out a brighter value. Now you want this to meet the darker piece. So what we want to do, I'll grab me stick again and watch this. I'll get it a little bit wet just so as I can get good transferring. I'll start over here. I want it very sharp against that dark bit. Very sharp. I'll do this bit here just to show you. Very sharp. So it's cutting back the dark bit very sharply so it looks deep. So let me get this bit here. And then I want to fade it up into that piece up there. Touching me stick, cutting that top edge of that dark paint down so it's nice. There's none of this light stuff scratching into it. You want this light stuff to scratch up the top side of it. And just merge it together. And this is going to help you keep it straight. Now if you want to, you can even put masking tape on the lower half of this so as you're not going to disturb the lower half if you're not good with a square like I am here. Now I'm going to do that to the other two. Now I've finished those three. Now what I've got to do with this bottom one is come a bit lower and then start putting your highlight merging to that darker colour, just like so. Now you might have to go back and add bits more to your darker lights. Just marry the two together till you're happy with the two. And I want to bring this just forward like that. Just bringing this there and merging it up into that heavier colour there. Right across there just like that. Now this lighter colour, you want it another real brighter colour of that. A lot brighter. And we're just going to crest the tip of those waves now with this brighter colour. So mainly the bottom one, not so much way out in the distance. A nice bright glare right on there. Don't play with it too much, just get it on there. And once it's on there, leave it alone. It's very easy to keep playing with it. I'm going to fade this one out about there. Let that one fade there. Now we've got a bigger wave down here. I want to get that in there. So I'm going to have it about, see here? I'm going to have it about that low from those waves. So simply grab your darker value again. Now you can pencil line if you want to. Take your time, I'll just show you what I mean. Use some chalk or a pencil. I'm going to go pretty much to that height. I'm just doing it lightly, okay? And I want this wave, I'm coming on an angle. This is where I want the dark stuff. Right about there. I can see those pencil lines. If you want to do the same, do it. I'm grabbing a brush where I can kind of get this on and just get to my pencil line and get this dark. But you want this darkness even, you don't want it blotchy. So I've got to try and keep it even. Don't worry about the top, we're going to detail that. It's real easy, I'll show you. Now before you just leave that like that, what I'm doing, coming from it, I'm just kind of splicing some of it down a bit lower here because we've got to bring some of the light colour back. And it's knowing how to do all this. It gives you those waves, that realistic curve look. Now I'm simply going to grab that lighter colour and trace that back up. So I'm grabbing this and I want to slightly splice this. Now dry it if you have to. And bringing it up. Now grabbing that lighter value again, I've got to put some of this behind the top of that wave now. Just about here. So just trace it along there, just trace it. We're going to detail that with a lot more white, but I need this colour there first. Get this behind your wave to about maybe that height there. Now we're shaping the top of that wave. Get a band of it there. You can have bands of it. I'm going to add some more white to that paint. Highlighting this into there. Getting it a bit brighter. And we also need some of this starting to come all around here. Nice big glare. So that can start joining into those splicey colours there. Now all your watercolours, it's smart to keep them on your palette wet. So if you need to come back with a darker vibe and push it in, you can. Now I'm leaving a bit here because there's going to be a nice rock boulder stone there. Now I've grabbed some Indian yellow and just put in with the turquoise there and a little bit of white, just so as I can get that yellowy green vibe. Just pushing at the top of my darkness and let it fade down, just somewhere like that. Very minimal, but it helps your wave look a bit more of a real wave. Because the top bit of that curl is thinner, so the light can come through, and this greeny yellow vibe mixed with it is indicating the light coming through, but it's still a dark band there. I'm pretty much grabbing white. See how much blue's on that brush? That's the powdered blue colour. I'm grabbing that just to taint the white because I don't want it pure white, and we want to put like our white vibe on there. Simply coming across the top of the wave from about here. This can be crunchy and sharp, just indicating the lighter part of the water on the top of the wave. I'm just using my stick to keep it level and just gingerly blend a nice glare right behind here. Just somewhere there, fading away, fading away. And we're just going to simply get our crisscrossy, watery, vibey glare here, coming down. Just smash it in there. Take your time. When you feel you're creating that work of art, you get real happy with yourself.
Yeah, the vibe of happiness is just wonderful, isn't it, Ian?
Absolutely. This can sort of come out here a little bit. And with this colour, I simply want to gingerly, because I am going to put a lot of the sun colours on top of this white as well, I want to get some of this just gingerly. I'll use my mouse stick, see if I can. Just glaring from there, let it glare out, coming along here, let it glare out, coming there, letting it glare out. Now we can put our pure white on the top of that wave. We can probably get a little bit of this over here. And all along this wave now we'll start pushing that on there. In a frothy, wavy, bubbly type of way that you normally see this water hitting the top of the wave. There we go. I'm just going to grab some of the Indian yellow, a little bit of that, just to give it that orangey warm vibe. Because the glare out here, what I want to do is just kind of soak it with this sun colour. So I'm using the flat, getting it, and see that white that we put on there, it's allowing this yellow to be opaque enough to be seen. If I just tried putting this yellow right on top of the watercolour, you wouldn't see it. Leaving the dark bits in between there as well. And you just want this blurring from there, creating that sun glare on top of the water. Not too much. Hopefully I didn't put too much. Probably just the slightest in here as well. Just warming that up there, that cool colour there, that light colour there. See, I just scratched it in there. Okay, we're going to do the front wave now. This is fun and easy. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pick up some of the straight turquoise there, about that much on my brush. And I've got paint there, but it's sort of getting dry and with a skin on it, so I'm going to start fresh. Now, I've just penciled in a simple foreground wave. So hopefully you can see there's a pencil line there and coming around here. Now that's pretty much the same colour as that water, but that's okay. I want to paint this in. It's going to have a lot of froth, this one. Pretty much the same principle what we've done there. There's my wave. Now, I want to grab the white to make that wave. I've got the white here. Pull enough of that over here. And I want a little bit of this magenta now, just to get this warm colour going. And we're simply going to, I'll get it on first, and then I'll start building it up. So we're coming up here. Just, I'm dancing the brush like that as I go along. Now I coulda, woulda, shoulda dried it. I want this a bit higher here. But that paint that I put there, see, we've got all this there, and it just hid all that in case we had some of it there. We want to bring this over that now. Just crashing around, seeing the side of it. There's going to be a rock there. Now look how easy that was, okay? Now what I'm going to simply do is thicken this up to about here, because it's slowly coming down the wave. Why I've put that magenta in it, that sunlight is filtering through this froth. Now I'm grabbing the white and a bit of the turquoise just to get this, because that colour dried up on me. I need a bit more pale. And I just want to join this now to that, to the bottom there. This is still the white, but it's kind of in shadow. Blurring into that other colour that we put there in the beginning. I'm just using my finger to smudge it. It looks more pleasing to the eye, don't you reckon, little buddy?
Absolutely, Ian. You're on. I reckon you know what you're doing.
Well, I hope I know what I'm doing. I can only do what I know, I suppose. Feel bits of this need to come about here somewhere. Now this colour we had the magenta in, start getting that more white, but you still don't want it pure white. And this is simply going to be, sorry, on the top side of it, not the bottom side of it. Oh, what's that? I'll have to make that a bit of spray or something. Now I've mixed up my dioxine purple and yellow ochre, and I want to get some more darker dioxine over here, just to get a real darker value of this colour, because this is going to be the rocks. Now I want to put a couple of rocks just under here, just up a bit and flat and down a bit. Okay, so it's like that, and maybe something here, there. This will be sunken back with the white foam, and there, and maybe here, pulling it. Now let's paint in a rock. I want something coming up here, down to that foam. Okay, coming around here, and maybe stopping there. And I'm going to block all that rock in. Now I do want to get most of it off the brush and just scrumble some darkness out here from that rock as well. Just like that. Come right up, where are I? Just come right up off the painting if you can. You want the edge nice and hard, sharp, just down like that. See this line of the rock? Work out, does it need to be flat or does it need to be dome shaped? I'm looking at it. I feel I want it a little bit dome shaped. Get some of this paint, and I want to bring a foam pretty much whirling like that. See that beautiful sweep? Keep the bottom of it reasonably hard and let the top scrumble back into the top half. This is going to be the darkness within there, and you need this there. If it's not there, it's going to look a bit iffity-appity. Now I'm just using the hairs of my brush just to scratch off some of this hard shadow there, just so as I can make it sink back the way I want it to. Now I'm getting my white, but I want it tainted with the magenta. I don't want it pure white, I want it magenta-y white. And this is going to be built up to a very bright white. Now what I want to do, see that very dark bit, I want to come from there and up and back, if anything. So what I want to do is start creating my froth. Watch. Get a lot of that off your brush. Get some of this on. And scrumble it back, just like water. But getting over that dark, shadowy bit. And let me look in the monitor there. And start doing S's and Z's and crosses, just filtering it back so you're feeling a lay of it all. So we're going to come along. I've got them like that, but I'm going to gradually, as they get smaller, bring them up to this wave. I'll show you just here. So now they're starting to meet the bottom of the wave there. Getting a lot of, don't have it too sudden, just that's the kind of vibe you want to give it. Now what I want to do is build up this edge thicker, simply by grabbing it, making it a bit more thicker, and then participating out a little bit more thicker. I want to get from the straight line there a lot of this, so as I can put the sun colours on it. This colour here is a bit deceiving at the moment, like once we put the other colours on it, it's going to bring it to life. I just want to shadow this rock over the water here. Grab some of the blue. Yeah. The blue is what I wanted. Just to get a shadow. I'll gradually add it and just see how it's vibing. Coming over there and around here. Just trying to feel the vibe of shadows. Just adding some shadow vibe here as well from this one, and maybe a bit from that wave head as well. And then when we put our final white on top, it'll make sense to you. Just sinking in another rock, just to add some balance. Just getting a bit of a shadow on this rock before I highlight them. That's the tape there. The rocks are the colour they are, but I want to get that sunlight reflecting on them just before I finish here. Grabbing my Indian yellow. Okay, I'm just grabbing the white and the Indian yellow, just so as I can highlight those rocks. Now I do want a little bit of red in that, I feel. It's just too... There you go. Now I'm just using my dagger brush just so I can get right to the very edge of my rock, but I want it looking like that barnacle vibe light hitting the rigidness of the rock there. Try and disperse that in the fashion that you're looking for. I'm looking for that dotty barnacle type look. And of course this one here, this one's going to be radiating differently. And you can see how that's created the dome shape of me rock. I've just added a bit more white to that mix, and I'm going to just gingerly get right to the edge of that stone and get the real glare on that edge there. Now, this is looking a bit funny. I want to finish that up for you now. So see all this glare here? I want to get this yellow still tracing down in there a little bit. Just grabbing some of the Indian yellow. It's probably got a little bit of white with it. And we just want to get some of that yellow glare coming across. So when we put the white, it'll set it all down. Just tracing out there, fits in here, tracing. Now I'm just grabbing white now to fix this wave up, or not to fix it up, to finish it off. I've got like a pointy brush because I want this white really standing out here and there. Get some in front of that rock there. Just this one here, I'm picking up the white. And with this now, I want to just gingerly push that back. And we're simply going to put the surface on top of the water now. So we've got all this. Just bring your white, let it come scratchy, and then just start sideways X's, infinity strokes coming across all this. Trace some of it out there, trace some of it out there, just tracing it out. Now I might have to darken those shadow bits back, I don't know, I'll see, but I really want to get heavy there with white. Now this bit here, I have got the white tainted with a bit of the turquoise because I want to, where are we? Get some of this now, just coming up the wave, just giving it some dimension. If I can get some coming off. And then grabbing the script liner with the same colour, I'm just going to put some of those veins. Just finishing off this bit here, I've just been analysing it now, so I've just pushed some dark under this bright bit here and scrumbling it through. It just didn't look complete there, so we need to, that's why I say analyse your work. Alright, just from about here, you know those big frothy round bubbly bits you get, and taper them back. Just looking here, something's not quite right here. I think I'll get this coming down the wave a bit more. I don't know if that camera was on, but I'm just scratching in the dark dioxazine purple under here. Okay, the camera was not on, so what I've gone and done is I've added some more white down here, just the dirty pink white with the magenta in it, and I've gone and got the shadow colour under there, the dioxazine purple. And now I'm just picking up the pure white, and I just want to go over that now and just get this highlighted, scrumbling it back within the water area there, just highlight it there. Where's that? That's there. So from about here, this is off the painting, I want to just start getting this pulled out just like that. Where are we? Get a bit of it right in there. Pulled out across your sand there.
What are you doing?
Ah, you watch this. Grabbing the Indian yellow and mixed with a little bit of the white. And you're just putting that sunlight into the sand there. But you needed that white there just to make it sit. Okay, I want to sign this and then we'll reveal it and whack a frame on it. Now, thank you everybody. I'm glad you stayed this far. Watch the painting be revealed And if you're not a Patreon or a YouTube channel member and you want to be, just hit the join tab or hit the Patreon link in the description box below. There we go, that's not too shabby, is it? Beautiful, colourful, vibrant ocean scene. Bit of a wave. You can change this up and make it your own, do whatever you want, but there's a good idea that I know you can do. Thank you for hanging around to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you tell your friends, but if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Also check out this other video of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.